Hi, this is Kavita Suresh Kumar, and in this video I am going to demonstrate how to create and delete storage buckets in GCP using Crossplane. I have logged into the GCP console. Let's review whether we have any storage bucket in this account. Go to the navigation menu, Cloud Storage, and then click Buckets. Okay, we don't have any buckets in this account. We are going to use Crossplane to create and delete the storage bucket. For that, first we need to install Crossplane in a Kubernetes cluster. I'm going to install the Crossplane in a Minikube cluster today. So first let us check whether the Minikube is up and running. We could see the Minikube is running successfully. Also we need both kubectl as well as the helm. Let's validate that. So we have the kubectl client version 1.27.2 installed. Let's validate helm. We have helm version 3.11.2 installed. Let's first do the helm repo add. Helm repo add Crossplane stable charts.crossplane.io/stable. So the repo has been successfully added. Now let's do a helm repo update to update the local cache. The local cache also updated successfully. Now let's do a helm install of Crossplane. Helm install Crossplane stable Crossplane. Then we need to provide the namespace, system. The namespace doesn't exist, so we need to give create namespace. So the Crossplane has been successfully installed. Now let us check the Crossplane pods. CTL get pods. They are running in the namespace Crossplane system. The pods are successfully running. Also, it creates many API resources. Let's check for that. So all these resources get created as part of the Crossplane helm installation. So now we are going to create a storage bucket in GCP. So for that, first we need to install a GCP provider. Let's do that. First we need to provide the API version, which is going to be pkg.crossplane.io/v1. Then we need to give the kind, so it is going to be provider. Then we need to give the metadata name. We will give it as provider-gcp. Then we need to give the spec. Then we need to give the package. So package is spkg.upbound.io/upbound/provider-gcp, and then we need to give the version. Okay, so we have provided all the information. Now let us save it. Now let's create the provider. Create -f GCP. So the provider has been successfully created. Let's validate that. Get providers. Yeah, so we could see it has been successfully installed, but the health is unknown. So it is going to take some time. In the meantime, let's create the secret with the GCP credentials. So already I have created a service account in GCP, which has the necessary permission to create the storage account, and I have created the key and downloaded the credentials. This is the credentials I'm going to use for creating the Kubernetes secret. kubectl create secret generic Then we need to give the name. I'm going to give the name as GCP-secret. Okay, and then the secret is going to create in the same namespace. So crossplane-system. We need to give the credentials file. So for that I'm going to use from file to, this is going to be the key, and then we will call the file. So the secret also has been successfully created. kubectl describe secret GCP-secret, the namespace crossplane system. Okay, so we have described the secret. Now let us check the provider status again. kubectl get providers. Okay, so it is installed as well as it's healthy. Okay, so now let us create the provider config. So where we are going to associate the provider with the credentials, what the Kubernetes secret what we created now. Let's create the provider config. GCP first, again we need to give the API version, which is going to be gcp.upbound.io/v1 beta1, then kind is going to be provider config, then metadata, name we'll give it as default, then spec. First we need to provide the project ID. Okay, so then we need to provide the credentials. Source of the credentials, it is going to be secret, and then the secret ref. So we need to first give the namespace, which is crossplane system, and then the name of the secret, GCP secret, and then the key, which is going to be creds. Okay, so we have provided all the information. Now let's create the provider config. ctl -f GCP PC. The provider config also has been successfully created. So now let us create the storage bucket. Create bucket.yaml in API version. Need to give storage.gcp.upbound.io/v1 beta1, then the kind. So we are creating a bucket. So then we need to give the metadata. So now let's give the generate name instead of the name, because the bucket name has to be unique. So if you give a generate name, it will generate a unique bucket name. So let's give generate name, which will start with cp bucket hyphen, and then we'll give the labels. So labels I'm going to give us doc.crossplane.io/example, then give provider hyphen GCP. Okay, so now let's give the spec for provider, location US, then the provider config ref, name default. Okay, so we have provided all the information for creating the bucket. Let's create the bucket. Now let us create the bucket. kubectl create -f. So the bucket has been successfully created. Let's review that. kubectl get buckets. Okay, so the bucket has been created, but it is not ready or synced. Let's wait for some time. Okay, so now the bucket has been successfully synced and it is ready for use. So let's review that in the GCP console. Okay, here we could see the bucket name, bucket what we have just now created using the Crossplane. One of the benefit of using Crossplane is that it identifies the drift and it rectifies it. For example, here if I go and delete this bucket, the Crossplane will be keep on monitoring and then it will recreate the bucket. So let's try that. Okay, so first I'm going to select this and then I'm going to click delete. So I need to confirm by typing delete. Click delete. So the bucket has been successfully deleted now. Now let's check here. So it will still show the bucket because still it has not got the information that the bucket has been deleted, because it doesn't get notified. The Crossplane on a regular basis, it polls and checks for the status. Based on that, it identifies the status of the resources it created in the external system. Now let us do a kubectl describe bucket and check. kubectl describe bucket. So we could see that it has created an external resource 49 seconds earlier, right? So here you can see that it was the first, it was 12.08, now it is 12.19. So it is taking 10 minutes. I think that a poll interval is 10 minutes. So it has polled and checked the external resource and it has found the resource is not available. So it has recreated the resource. Let us go and review that in the UI. Let's refresh. So we could see the bucket has been recreated again. The deleted bucket has been recreated again. Now let us see how to delete this bucket using Crossplane. kubectl delete bucket, and then we need to give the bucket name. The bucket has been successfully deleted. Now let's review in the UI. Let's refresh. And we could see that the bucket has been successfully deleted. In this demo, we have seen how to create and delete storage bucket in GCP using Crossplane. Also, we have seen the feature of Crossplane, that is, we deleted the bucket from the GCP console, and the Crossplane, it identified the drift and it recreated the bucket again. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching the demo.